Hello YouTube, my name is Marie and today I'm going to do a full review of Persona. Persona is a series of short films starring the wonderful IU. Although each of the 4 different entries are directed by a different established, very well-known Korean director, each entry does explore part of IU's personality, or so that's what the show is marketed as. Because of this episodic nature to these short films, they're clocking in around like 18 to 25 minutes each. They're not very long. I watched all of them in one sitting, but because they are very distinct and you could watch each one without having watched the one before or the one after, they're not linked with like an overall narrative, which to me is a problem, but I'm going to give each little episode its own small review and synopsis, and then at the end of this video I'm going to rank them in the order of my favorites. So I'm going to say episode 1, the first short film that you get to enjoy, is called Love Set. And I'm going to just read you the Netflix synopsis of them. So Love Set is about 2 women who get entangled in the intense battle of wills on the tennis court and try to pummel each other, but the stakes are higher than they realize. Wow, I didn't realize that that's what the synopsis was going to be. I feel like I need to read it in a different way, like a little bit more intensely, like 2 women who get entangled in an intense battle of wills on the tennis court. I don't feel that Love Set is such an intense battle on the tennis court as the synopsis makes it sound. To me, this is incredibly energetic, and it was a great way to start off Persona. Because everything about the directing and the acting and even the soundtrack I thought was incredibly cheeky. The other films in this series focus primarily on dialogue, whereas Love Set is about physical body language. The camera pays extra detail to the small moments where characters touch skin, or like how the feet drag on the ground, and like all of these things where to me I feel like there must be more of a metaphor going on, or maybe some more symbolism. So this is one that I feel like I would rewatch just to see if I get something new out of it after knowing the ending, because I do think that that helps sometimes with piecing together the director's intent. While I did really enjoy Love Set, I liked the energy. It started Persona off on a really great note. Like, I felt like we hit the ground running with Love Set. I did find some of the choices a bit repetitive. I can only find Sweat so interesting. The second short film in Persona is The Collector. A befuddled man wants to know why a woman he's seeing disappeared to go traveling with her male friends, but she demands a gesture of true love. For me personally, The Collector was by far the most visually interesting. I liked a lot of the colors and the color tones, especially the saturations. There's a lot of like really rich reds, and it just feels very romantic, almost gothic. I also liked with this one that the metaphor is very obvious. It's clear and you get what the show is going for right away. With The Collector, I don't feel like I missed anything. I feel like I got everything that was intended for me to get from The Collector, and I also thought the performances with this one, with The Collector, were on point. I loved it all. This is the only film out of Persona that I would rewatch for enjoyment's sake alone. The Collector can have my heart. So the third film in Persona is Kiss Burn. As she listens to her friend's tale about how the marks on her face are from making out with a guy, the 2 of them inadvertently cause a mishap. I would sum up Kiss Burn as youthful innocence and playful directing, with an ending that really pays off. I thought it was just fine. I was slightly bored, I'm gonna be honest. IU's acting is great, the directing is great, but I didn't find the story all that interesting until you get to the end, and I laughed way too hard at the end. I just thought it was the funniest thing. So lastly, in Persona, we have Walking at Night. This is about a man and a woman take an evening stroll together and ruminate about dreams and their various past moments spent together, as well as death. Walking at Night is by far the most dialogue heavy, and listening to them talk is very peaceful, is very calming to me, but I didn't find the conversation all that interesting. And this is incredibly personal. The subject matter, as said in the synopsis, does deal with death a lot, so if you've lost someone very close to you, which I have been fortunate enough not to lose anyone very close to me, then you might get a lot more out of Walking at Night than I did. I also was not a huge fan at all. I was trying to say that lightly, but I just wasn't a fan of this style of directing. You're so far away from the actors. You know, this whole series of Persona is really a demonstration of the skill and talent that IU has. Like, she's so good in every single episode, but in Walking at Night, you can't even see her. She's too far away. You get a lot of shots with the two leads, like IU and the male character, from the back, or they're in shadows and it's just a voiceover, or they're from the side. Like, it's so far away. It reminded me of the directing within Pretty Nuna Who Buys Me Food. Not only is the camera very far away from the actors and the action going on, but there's also no movement. It's very static. So, number 1 being The Collector. Number 2 is Love Set. And Kiss Burn is coming in at my number 3 position. And lastly, in my number 4th position, I have Walking at Night. Okay, that is everything from me, and I would love if you guys told me your ranking of Persona down below. Have a good day, have a good night, bye.